All right, on the B side, we talk a lot about what other people aren't talking about. Now, Oregon is trying something that's rather unique. It's called a mileage tax. Get ready for other states to follow suit. It works this way. Why should they just tax you at the pump when, of course, in big distances like you cross in Oregon, you can be taxing by the mile? Well, they're going to try that. So that means that all of you folks with those super fuel efficient vehicles or those ones that, you know, maybe your cat can fit into, that get like 100 miles a gallon, you're going to pay per mile no matter how much you're getting on that car. So there you go. All right. To Independent Women's Forum, Sabrina Schaeffer says this is a disaster, and she can easily fit into these cars. So I just look at these people and I say, but you say what? What are we to make of this, and whether other states follow suit?
Well, look, I mean, this is another example of the government being 3 steps behind consumers in the private marketplace, right? So consumers are already driving less. Fuel efficiency standards have gone up. More people are buying those little tiny electric cars, which is a big problem for the state of Oregon, right? They're not raising enough revenue. But isn't this a good chance to talk about how we could cut spending rather than raise more revenue? I think this is a great opportunity to talk about privatizing our highway system.
Now, Sabrina, I'm showing my ignorance here, but did residents of the state go along with this? They said, hey, that's fine. I mean, or was this slip past someone?
Well, look, Oregon has not managed to sign up one person in the exchanges for Obamacare. So I can't imagine, even the great liberals out in Oregon, that they are going to go along with this. I mean, look, in the wake of the NSA scandal, the IRS scandal, and the disaster that is Obamacare, can you imagine the people of Oregon going along with putting a GPS in their car so the government can track how many times they go back and forth to work?
We were wondering, like, how do they know how far you're driving? They would have to have some means by which, in New Jersey, in places like that, you could tell just the gap between, I guess, exits on the Trike or the Garden State Parkway, but this is actually a little bit more involved. They're going to have a tracing vehicle right on your vehicle.
Exactly, and not just for criminals, right? For moms like myself, so they'll know how many times I go back and forth to my kids' school or to my place of work. I'm sure all sorts of employers might want in on this, and it's very expensive. I think it's going to be $200 per person. I can't even imagine the unintended consequences in terms of carpooling and ride sharing. There's so much wrong with this whole story. I mean, it's almost laughable.
But it could raise a lot of money. It could also be prohibitive and disruptive to the economy. But they think they could raise quite a bit of dough. Can they?
They do. And, you know, this is where I don't usually look to Europe for solutions, but I do think that they've done something right with the way that they manage their highways, which is that when they contract out to construction crews, it's not just to pave the highway for 1 year. They own that highway for a certain period of time, so they have a vested interest in making sure the job is done well the first time.
Yeah, but come on, they have outrageous gas prices.
Well, they do, but I think here we can learn something, right? We can learn how we can be more efficient and more effective using the private sector.
Yeah, well, and look at the Germans. I mean, they have the Autobahn. They don't care. Just
no
drive real fast. Drive real fast. And amazing. All right, Sabrina, thank you very much. Isn't that incredible?
Thank you, Neil.
See, you buy the fuel-efficient car. Good for you. Anyway, the biggest union boss, Rich